Honestly, it sounds like most sideline reports. The coach has said more points wins games. Back to you. All right.
How are you going to handle the cold weather in Detroit?
One problem. They play in a dome. Jared Goff. I'm so excited, and I did a small version of this on Cash the Ticket with Cookies because I said, all right, when are you just going to stop? Like, I don't need, one thing I hate is when people are like, when are you going to apologize for that opinion? I don't know. Half past your mom. It's an opinion. It's sports. It's not like Rico's hurling ethnic slurs. Guys, can we stop with the Goff stuff? Won 12 games, won the division, won a playoff game. I don't care how he plays against the Bucs. You got to pay him. But yet, you turn on the station in the morning, you turn it on in the middays, and I'm sure it'll happen here. I just don't get what some of you are after. It's like yesterday when people were bitching and moaning, well, you didn't say we'd win by enough. You know what? Go to hell. How about that? You won your first playoff game in 30 years. And all you can find a way to do is complain or not pay your quarterback because he's not Joe Burrow, because he's not Mahomes. I don't understand what we're doing. So I want to know right here, right now, no matter what happens against the Bucs, which I do believe they will win, but no matter what happens, aren't you paying this guy? Can you put your swords down? And for all that Jared Goff needed to prove to you, which, by the way, he didn't have to prove to the men in that locker room, to the front office, to his head coach, and you heard it after the game, which Rico cited yesterday. You're good enough for effing Detroit, which is obviously a shot at the Rams because he wasn't good enough for them. Is great going to be the enemy of good here? Because some of you, I heard a caller call into Doug and Scott, oh, I should just go to Hendon Hooker next year. Man, do you live on Xbox? What planet do you reside on that a man for the Detroit Lions is going to win 12 games, win the division, win a playoff game, and you want to let him get into the last year of his contract?
Mm-hmm. It's the proverbial next level. Because I heard a caller, too, saying, yeah, but you know what? We still need to reach that next level. It's like, guys, you're at the next level. It may not be the way that you wanted to get there, but you're there. You won a lot of games. You won a division. You've won a playoff game. You're hosting another playoff game. What's another quarterback going to do that Goff has not done for you? He wins game. That locker room loves him. The ownership loves him. And when I thought early on when they extended him when they didn't have to, you know what? Brad Holm he believes in Goff. But listening to how they sound, he went out there and did something going all the way back to what? Eric Kramer? You want a playoff game? And then when they're like, you're good enough for Detroit, you're good enough for us, that was his team. And the reception that his teammates had for him, he's a quarterback. I don't understand. For some reason, the goalpost keeps getting moved for this man. And I don't understand what he has. Not every fan, but there are some fans, Mike, he can do nothing right. If he wins a Super Bowl, yeah, but you only won one. Trent Dilfer won the Super Bowl. That doesn't make you special.
Do you understand that the numbers that Jared Goff is putting up right now exceed what, for instance, from my world, Eli Manning ever did? Eli has 2 Super Bowls. He's going to the Hall of Fame. Guys, I'll ask you again. Are we done? Seriously, here's the phone lines. I want all the chuckleheads. Line them up like bowling pins. Just tell me exactly. Now, here's the other thing, and I got into this with Costa. Well, I'm not giving him a Pat Mahomes. Who's talking about paying Jared Goff $500 million? If I were representing Jared Goff, I would have the talk with my client. Like, there's no scenario you're going to be the highest paid QB in football. None. And if the Lions gave him that level of money, I would actually criticize it. But there's a middle ground here to where.
Yeah, I think Lions fans are going to have to be okay with the fact that we're going to be breaking news one day saying Goff is going to be averaging about $40 to $45 million a year on his next extension.
And within a year or two, when quarterbacks begin making 60 a year, he'll go from being the 5th highest paid to the 7th highest paid.
It reminds
to the 10th
me,
highest
it
paid.
reminds me of when Stafford was the highest paid QB, and it was the outrage. Well, he hasn't won a playoff game. He hasn't won a division. How is he the highest paid QB? Well, just wait a second, because he won't be, and he wasn't. And then all of a sudden, his deal looked cheap. Goff is your guy. You're going to have to pay him. I don't understand the angst for some. It's not Hendon Hooker. If you bring in Hendon Hooker, he's the unknown. You have something built here that you can sustain. You may not win 12 games next year. You may, because you're going to be playing a tougher schedule, but you could be a better team. This is Goff's team. This offense is built for him. He's got the running game. He's got the offensive line. He's got the safety blanket in Laporta. I don't understand what it is that you want to see from this man that he has not given you.
So
because
here,
he has galvanized this team.
Take the names out of it. All right? Take the names out of this. I'm going to give you 2 stat lines. 2. All right? 67.3% completion rate. 4,600 yards. 30 touchdowns, 12 picks, and a QB rating of 97.9. Right? Does that sound good to you?
Sounds good.
Okay, that's quarterback A. Here's quarterback B. I just got to pull the second window up. I apologize. Quarterback B is the following. A 66.5% QB percentage rate, 4,300 yards, 29 touchdowns, 18 picks, and a 92.2 rating. Which quarterback would you rather have, A or B?
Probably A.
Okay, A is Jared Goff, B is Josh Allen. But what about the rushing yard? Noted. What about the 18 picks? What about the lower completion percentage? What about the fewer passing yards? What about the brutal red zone turnovers? My point to you is, you're chasing names. You're chasing the idea of a quarterback. People in Buffalo aren't getting rid of...
That's a great way of putting it, the idea of a quarterback. I like that.
It's like what people do with
That's why you're
spouses.
on the marquee, man.
No, I'm saying, like, think about what people do in relationships. You'll see a lot of people, men or women, whatever, they're in love with the idea of someone. They're not in love with the actual person. Mm-hmm. So, like, just think about it. Buffalo ain't trying to get rid of Josh Allen for all of his foibles. Why the hell in a town that has had no success? I have comped this to a homeless man complaining that the free mattress he got isn't comfortable. Then go sleep on the concrete.
Right, but then you get some saying, well, Dallas is looking to part way with Dak, so, maybe we should do the same.
Dak has had how many chances to go on a run?
Oh, you're right.
How many years in a row? 3 12-win years in a row without doing what Jared Goff did. Rico.
Mike, I'm with you. When he initially got here, I'm like, guys, he's not a Band-Aid. This is going to be your guy. The fact that he has gone out here, and here's the puzzling part about all of this. People loved Stafford.
Endlessly.
And Stafford didn't give you anything that this man has given you in the last 3 years. Yeah, he was on the bad team, and he was here to turn it around. And he is now the team leader. And he led you to a playoff victory. First time in 30 years. And you know what? This isn't going to be a one-time thing. The Lions will be back in the playoffs multiple years where it won't be a big deal to go and get tickets because you're used to them being in the playoffs.
Quarterback A, 67% completion rate, 4,200 yards, 27 touchdowns, 14 picks for a 92 rating. Quarterback B, 67% completion rate, 4,600 yards, 30 touchdowns, 12 picks, and a 96 quarterback rating. Who would you rather have, quarterback A or B?
Give me the A numbers again.
A is 67.2, 4,200 yards, 27 touchdowns, 14 picks, and a 92 rating.
B?
Yeah, B is Jared Goff. A, Patrick Mahomes. I'll do this all day.
Okay. Brock Purdy.
Hold, please. No, but you understand, because what happens is there's an inherent bias.
It is.
And if people have an idea they don't like Jared Goff, you're going to look for anything that confirms your bias. People would rather be right than to just accept this better way forward. Like, it's okay to be wrong. Things are still good. I don't understand. If I take the names out of this and we go data, all right, so he's not sexy. So he doesn't run for an 80-yard touchdown or Maybe he doesn't have guys. If I have to hear someone else go, well, he doesn't throw the ball downfield enough. He led the league in completions over 20 yards. Oh, well, the receivers did most of the work. Signed anyone who's ever thrown Tyreek Hill a football.
Yeah.
Like, I
was about to say, yeah, Tyreek Hill, Debo, yeah, they just catch
Brock
it
Purdy
and
threw
run.
a 5-yard pass to Debo in Philadelphia, and it turned into an 80-yarder.
Facts.
Like, that's called playing the position. So I would love to know, are we done?
Even the CeeDee Lamb, 97-yard run was mostly CeeDee Lamb.
It was a broken play.
Right.
248-539-9796.